So back at it again. Cheers. It is a Saturday. Um, much respect to Professor Sam Vaknin for shining a light on something that is more of a a smaller niche, right? Like all manner of other um, scenarios and so on. When it comes to ill personality traits and disorders is well discussed about, but I appreciate this specific take on it. And I'd like to develop on that as it be, specifically where I've seen this apply, where it genuinely counts. And other times where not only that, a lot of the times there isn't any bad reaction back. But if there is on good grounds, and it's almost, some form of an attempt for the codependent to escape because at the end of the day, if you're in a relationship with a narcissist, right, and you're going to go no contact sooner or later, there is a process of not being friends anymore, breaking the relationship down, and that's what it is, right? Or a best case scenario is a process of give and take, and if is somewhat correct, right? If it's not, if the narcissistic supply needs of the malignant narcissists diminish, and the trauma being induced into the codependent is diminished, then there might be some form of, especially if it's family, so on and so forth, there might still be a reason, a functional reason to be in contact and communication and so on. Obviously I've met people myself that I helped, and it's 100% spot on. As I helped them over time, they started becoming more and more jealous and more like, so from where a healthy individual would appreciate you, it would build trust in them, and not only financially, but also from a mental health standpoint. I mean, I'm by far way more, should I say, balanced in terms of narcissism and codependency in terms of communication when it comes to speaking to others. And of course, financial, so on, right? Putting in time and work to help people. And they totally had the exact reactions that Sam Vaknin described. And now to get into what sets aside, so where the contrast is between the malignant narcissist good deeder, one that does the good deed and helps you out, versus one that has healthy narcissism, is just normal and does a good deed for you. So if you get help from someone and it's a genuine gift, they don't expect anything back, a lot of times people that are like that, not much conflict arises out of that unless the one that they're interacting with. I wouldn't know about that, because everyone that has helped me in that way, and I've had friends that have helped me like that in recent times, and they helped me out. I kept to my word, and of course it was viable plans. It wasn't, right, because someone that is narcissistic, say when it comes to finances, right? If you got someone that is a malignant narcissist, and there is institutions that have been caught out doing this a lot of times, they're like narcissistic and psychopathic. They know how much money you can pay back. They know that you're vulnerable and you need money. And they will offer to loan you more money than what you can pay. And then they will come and take you for all you got. And that is, even in terms of law, so on and so forth. If you can have the power of attorney and the knowledge yourself, and have the opportunity to present your case, or if you can employ a good attorney, they will take them for all they have, for the absolute criminals that they are when they do that sort of stuff. And we're not talking a bit of street crime or something, or a bit of a black market without any harm coming out of it. No, we're talking like absolutely irreversible harm. So that's how you know the difference between malignant narcissistic good deeds that in return expect you to partake in their shared fantasy, and the mind control cult that they're part of, that whether they create. There's families that the family is just a small mind control cult. That's what it is. Or there's groups of friends, small communities, so on and so forth, that act like a mind control cult with the and those are the traits. So in specific, they will never ever show any they'll never perform a good deed in terms of any form of validation. If they do, is very, very rare, and you pretty much have to like beg for it. Like with some of these people, like it got that bad that I literally had to ask them, like, do you agree? Can we both agree that I'm right if I say 1 + 1 = 2? And they were literally like, it was a battle of 15-20 minutes to get them to be like, yes, okay, yeah, just a simple basic thing, 1 + 1 = 2. Meanwhile, they'll give you money, they'll give you money, or they'll come drop off gifts or stuff like that, but they can't agree on even just basic things. Like, hey, look outside, is daylight, look, is that the sun in the sky? They can't fucking agree, like that. That's how bad their manipulation, gaslighting, and all of that is. And yeah, how many more how much more evidence for the absolute lack of ability to provide any sort of moral support, right? That's how you know that they're part of the cluster B personality disorder. I don't need no professional diagnosis from someone to confirm me that they indeed have that. So when 6 months go by and you keep telling them that you need some form of just moral support, just to at least be like any junior counselor as it be, that just sits there and just listens to you, so you get at least the things off your chest, so that you don't go commit suicide or something. They can't do that. They literally can't even do that. So they can't even sit there and allow you just to talk, even if it's bullshit, right? Even if it's delusions or whatever. But you just need to get that out to go to the next stage in healing. They won't allow you to heal mentally, you know? And they only focus on physical things, only on the material things. So all of that stuff that is explained in the cluster B personality disorders, where they have an issue of recognizing their own feelings, like that, they're all like encaged, you know, mentally and stuff, and emotionally themselves, and refuse to go anywhere with that for themselves. So then that explains that they can't possibly, you know, go do have any form of help, you know, or perform any good deed in terms of moral support and mental health support. And it's strictly material. And even if you sit there and tell them like, hey, look, I'm more than willing to, and that's the other thing, that they will say that, they want to see you get financially well and all of that, and socially and all of that yourself, right? Meanwhile, from what I've seen, it just isn't true. It just isn't true, because the cluster B, specifically the malignant narcissistic people, they need that, they don't want to interact with you as an equal, you know, especially financially and so on and so forth. They need to keep you under their foot always, and even if that means, even if they're your family, right, and even if that means that your life is going to be wasted, oh well, you're still going to be potentially, right, because some people break out of codependency, turn around and say, hey, you know what, stuff you, I'm not going to talk to you again, get out of here. Or grey rock them, grey rock the hell out of them. And that's where it's at. You know, they genuinely need to keep you under their foot, no matter what. And how destructive is that in terms of society, for families, communities, workplaces? Because I've seen it in most places. I'd say at least 2 out of 5 places, whether it's households, whether it's workplaces, institutions, schools, so on and so forth. Even knowingly that it'll make the workplace worse off. Maybe the company will fail altogether and everyone's going to lose their jobs. They will still do it. Even though they know that the family may cease to exist. That's it. You're the last in the line, and there ain't going to be any more family after that. That's it. They still go ahead and do it. So that's how much they are addicted to their narcissistic supply. And I think it's one of their best scenarios. One of their most favorite things that they like to do is to exchange monetary money and physical things that you need in exchange for robbing you for narcissistic supply, is where a genuine family or friends or whatever it is, they will, if they need to support you financially or help you financially, or with physical things, food, whatever, they also support you with some moral support. Maybe in their, not being autistic or malignant, narcissistic, psychopathic, sociopathic, while they're creating this comfort and feeling of safety, because they've got the ability to observe that, that's when they can put in a bit of morals and ethics and suggestions at what their opinions are on long-term solutions, instead of short-term management, because that's what gifts and so on and so forth are. But they lack these abilities altogether. And it's all, I'm good, you're bad, so on and so forth. And that's it. Like, everything is, and it's all gaslighting and shit like that, because they know how complicated things are and so on and so forth. But yeah, the most prized thing in people like this' lives is so that they get the narcissistic supply, so that they're always right. There's just no chance at equality, as it be, in terms of dignity, respect, and integrity. No such thing. Absolutely no such thing. And then the people that are genuinely they don't have narcissistic personality disorder. Unfortunately, some of them have codependency, and I always try not to profit too much from people like that. And yeah, that's how it is. There's some people that they're almost pushovers. They're more too much like sacrificing themselves to yeah, there is, I know other families that they've made their children more malignant, narcissistic, and they're generally codependents to them. They've spoiled the hell out of them. They've never gone on a holiday or anything like this in 20 years, but have sent their children on holiday and all of this, and they're not really respectful. They swear at them all the time and all of this. And then there's other families that the parents went on holidays 2-3 times a year, bought brand new cars, bought houses out of malignant narcissism. Meanwhile, I'm like, hey, don't go for that. Like, you're gonna fail at. This is not the way to invest. You got to first invest. Get, like, I don't know, a building that is 80,000 and have that paid off, then go for like a small flat of 200,000. Then when that's paid off, you go for a house of 500,000. You don't just jump into a house of $500,000, $700,000 because you want a 5-bedroom house for 2 people. And they find that because this is what malignant narcissism is. So I much appreciate Professor Sam's latest video. But yeah, I think there is a very small niche of scenarios where this applies. And it applies specifically when genuine psychopaths and malignant narcissists, this type of stuff, the likes of people that never worked in their life, never had a job in their life, always been on welfare, had girlfriends, children, being like that. Yeah, so they've been given a lot. They've been given a lot in this lifetime. And then they go and abuse systems and charities and so on and so forth. And anyone that helps them, and they're always jealous because even leaving mental health alone, they've never gone and worked and felt that good feeling when you go and get stuff on your own and when you achieve on your own in an honest and correct way. They've never had that. So then when they get help from others, they have had that, is very strange to them. Very strange to them. And I hope the difference in generations, I hope the generational conflicts come to an end, it's when are the people born in the 50s, 60s, and 70s and 80s going to admit, let's stop at in the 70s, admit that the opportunities, and specifically just in terms of stress, so to have more opportunity at harmony, not be experimented on, because I mean, even if it's just normal stuff, right, like the cell phone, computers, electric cars is probably going to be drones, right? So all the mainstream stuff, all of this is experimental at the end of the day. It's experimental. They didn't have that. And in terms of mental health and harmony between man and a woman to create a family, they had a lot more of that. So if you were born in the 50s, 60s, and 70s, and you don't have a healthy family, it's on you and your mental health, pretty much, for most part, because there was no social media and there was no hyper duper super mind control manipulation that there is these days. And every year, more and more new and experimental emerging technologies. So admit the fact that you could have done something to hold this, to slow this down a little bit, slow this train down a little bit, and not accelerate it further. And hey, we enjoy our narcissistic supply, and we enjoy having the upper hand, and buying and selling houses and controlling people's lives, and then putting the liability on the victims. So I think I'll end it there, and I'm more than willing to appreciate good changes, and it is really bad times we live in. That's just a simple fact. Whether that you got an easier time or a harder time, I presume there's people that are doing better financially than others, but are doing mentally a lot worse. Stress level is a lot higher. There's others that are doing much better from levels of stress and mental health, but are going through tough times financially and socially. So I think I'll end it there, and all the best.